Well, welcome back to another episode of Penny's Hot Rod and Customs. Just old Derek again. We're still working on the Stickney, but today we are going to start on the. It's almost like an old spark plug. It's a igniter. This is this one's off a 7 horsepower Stickney, but they're pretty much all the same, except for the petcock could be a little up here or straight. You can see it's not in there, but this is what starts your engine and runs. It's what produces your spark. And there's a rod that pushes here, and your power's right here. It arcs it, and then the spark comes through here, and then goes into the cylinder, and boom. That's what fires your engine. And yeah, they're fairly, to me, they're a fairly simple mechanism. I have made a couple of these in the past for people. The only difference, you would not know that I made it, was I didn't have the numbers in it. This one casted. The one that I made I couldn't cast that, so I just machined one right from a solid piece of cast. Everything was the same. Like here's my I won this spring. My brothers and I would make up blanks, just like this. There it is. And I just machine them, make them work. This would be out of a solid piece of cast. I copied everything it was supposed to like. No problem, never had a problem. But in this case, I have one. I think it will be in the future. I'll have to make another one. I think we're short one at nighter, but no big deal. But this episode, we're going to rebuild the igniter. And before you even get too crazy, you gotta have some sort of an insulator in here when you put your 6 volts or 12 volts or whatever. And in this case here, so it shorts it, so you don't short it out, you gotta use Microlite. That's what packs in here. We'll get into that. Or I believe I'd use like a Teflon. You get it in a bar and you can machine it too. But the reason why I like to use Microlite that goes in here, because you set your very fine timing up with your inside here, and that's what sets your fine timing. So we'll get into that when we get into the video. So, but that's what a igniter looks like on most Stickneys. Alright, here you just pull this nut off. This is almost like the striker, the anvil that I was saying. And this is where you pack the Microlite into here. And this is what you will take this out where you hook your power line to it. In this case, I'm going to make a new one. The threads are pretty... They're there, but it's a little worn. So I got a piece of hex right here. We'll just machine a new one. Here's your brass body. Like I say, someday I'll make a igniter right from scratch, and you can see it's not very hard to do. If you just hold your this part, because this is what, when it's all in there, this is what strikes and makes the spark. You got this spring here, and then that's like this other one that I was making. You can see they're identical. They're not very hard to make, and that's it. That's your igniter body. Very simple, and same as, like I said, the brass body here. All we did was just wrap this up with tape, and I think we put a little bit of Bondo on it, pounded in, and we just made up a couple of them. And next time I'm going to do them yellow brass. This was in bronze. It didn't need to be, but yellow brass is just fine. Yeah, before we get into too far, we'll just make another one of these guys. So they're supposed to Go in here, and you want a bit of thread here, so that way you can set this in and out for your timing, so when it hits this guy. So usually I like to set mine about 25 to 30 degrees before top dead center. Get most of my power that way. Yeah, I guess we'll cut a piece of metal and make that. Oh yeah, another thing was actually, I've heard a lot of people say back in the day, these igniters were very dangerous. They would have there's a petcock on here, and to see if your igniter was working, you could open the petcock, look through, trip the igniter, and you could see it spark. But if there was gasoline in this thing and you trip it, it would shoot flames out, and I've heard some people burnt their eyeballs over these things. So, just one thing I've heard from older people telling me stories. Okay, I just quickly made one up. I changed it a little bit. I just went with this way. This one had a shoulder on, but this was a bigger material. And it'll work, just perfect what I want. And because this will actually have, that's when your wire here, will have 6 volt to it. Your wire connects here. This is always going to be live, so you got to shorten it out, because you don't want to have all this 6 volt, and then you'll electrocute yourself. So, I forgot to mention before, you need this totally insulated. So I had a little piece of Teflon. Oh, I should show it. I'll be right back. Hey, I'm back. Hey, this was just a piece of Teflon stock material that Ryan got me. And I just machined this little spacer up. That goes in between here. Because you got to have all this grounded out, so you don't want to be electrocuted. And then we'll call this the anvil, basically. It's almost like an anvil. You want everything tight because, I still got to put some Insulating in here, but you want everything tight because this is all compressed air in here from the compression, from your piston and that, and you don't want to lose air, because then that screws up with your fuel and air mixture. So now, we'll get some Insulating. Usually every time we go down to Le Sueur, we pick up a couple bags of Insulating and stuff. Especially when you're playing with these guys, you always need these. You need some Insulating, especially if you're playing around with igniters and stuff. And you want to ground this side out too, because when you tighten this up, you don't want to be touching that. So this way, you always have a ground on the outside, and then throw some in the inside. I'll put a couple. I'm not too sure where I am, because I got to play with my timing, and I haven't got that far yet to play with my timing. This is just for the igniter. Okay, so I got that tightened, so you can see I'm all grounded. This is not going to ground this out. And then I got a couple Insulating here. Yeah. Of course, I got to tighten everything down. But now, this is all grounded out. This will be hot, but this will be fine. This won't get electrocuted. It won't be a short here. So, and then you put your wire in here, clamp it for the coil, and then now we will. That's the side screw. Yeah, this side. What I like to do, well, if everybody's different or whatever you like. I like to have that anvil piece I just put in here, almost where you can see it in the hole. That way, you want it kind of in the halfway position here, because that spark has to go into the cylinder, and that's what fires your engine. So I'm going to go put a couple more Mickey lights in there because I want to bring it out a little bit. Right now it's about right here. I want to bring my hammer right about here. So, but it's just trial and error. I kind of just figured this out on my own. There's really no book to tell you how to do this stuff, so. But I'd like to do a video someday of making well, since I have a piece of bronze here, igniters from scratch. Yeah, I'll clean some more parts up and then we'll continue putting the igniter back together. Alright, now we're just going to put the igniter back together and then test it. Lucky I don't have to build any other parts at the moment, but this just goes back into here. And then this is the trickier little spot. This guy, I don't know what the name for this stuff is, so this is like a striker rod, but you need a spring in here. Yeah, and usually I just find a drill bit that's a little bit bigger. Push it down, because you gotta get the counter pin in. Might be a couple times getting this. Oh, got it. And this is the other spring. It goes in like that. Now maybe what we'll do, make life a little easier. Put that back in. Like I'm going to take all this apart again because I got to paint the igniter body. And then that goes into there. And then that's when your rod from the cam grip pushes that and it strikes it. And I don't know if you guys can pick this up, but it makes a contact right in there. I'll hook a battery up and coil and you'll see it arc. So, and that's how igniter, on a sticky igniter works. They're very, like I say, they're a very simple igniter. Just the biggest thing, you gotta have this grounded, because we put a wire here, in here, and put a bolt through here, and that'll be a positive, and then your negative is usually ground on the engine somewhere. But I'll get some wire hooked up and see how well it arcs. Okay, I made up a little ghetto wiring system. It'll be better later, but there's my coil hooked up to a 6-volt battery. There's my positive here I got, and this is all ground out. And here, like that's my positive is ground out. Am I getting electrocuted? It's not hot or anything. Here's my ground wire to the battery. And now, if you guys look in the center, right in here, there's my spark. And that would start with spark for the engine, and every time it hits, that's what ignites the gasoline under pressure. And I got the coil perfectly grounded out. There's no issues. I'm not heating. So that was a win. I'll put a nice little screw in here and some nice wire. Like I said, I gotta take this part, paint this, and maybe clean that up a bit. But that's a win. I'm happy with that. Nice big blue spark. So I don't know what else to say about it, but that, if anybody's curious about a Stickney igniter, there's not a whole heck of a lot into it. It's not that hard. If you have a lathe, you can make one up, but I hope I at least help someone out there on something on the Stickney stuff. So, well, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.